Hey everyone, and welcome. I'm Noah Zerbe. I'm a professor of politics at California State Polytechnic University, Humboldt, where I teach a wide variety of courses in international relations and American politics. In this video, I'm going to explore how we might leverage artificial intelligence in the academic writing process. Now, if you're watching this video because you're in one of my classes, I'm going to provide some hands-on tips on how to effectively use and integrate AI into the university-level writing process. I have a permissive approach to the use of AI in writing. My approach is outlined in the course syllabus and generally permits the use of AI in your writing with the caveat that you cite and explain how you use it. But if you're watching this video for another class, or if you're not sure what constitutes acceptable use of AI in academic writing, be sure to consult with your professor before starting down this road. There's still a lot of uncertainty and apprehension about using AI in writing. Some professors like me permit it or even encourage it. Others might be less permissive, and some might prohibit it altogether. It's vital to know how your professor permits or doesn't permit it so that you don't get accused of plagiarism or academic dishonesty. And I recognize that this video will be a little on the long side, so I'm going to include chapter markers in the comments section below if you want to jump to a specific section of the video. So with that out of the way, let's talk about AI.
What are large language models? What makes them game changers in writing?
Large language models like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Claude, and others are essentially systems trained on vast amounts of text and increasingly on visual images and other sources to recognize patterns in language, grammar, context, and factual information. This training enables them to generate human-like responses based on the inputs they receive. Essentially, large language models work by predicting the next word or phrase in a sentence based on the context of the preceding words. They process user prompts to generate responses by predicting the most likely sequence of words. This model maintains context from previous interactions within a session, allowing for coherent and contextually appropriate responses. But because of how they work, they can sometimes produce incorrect or nonsensical answers, and you have to be aware of this and carefully assess the information they provide.
How can AI revolutionize my writing process?
AI is revolutionizing the writing process, acting as a powerful tool that can enhance and streamline various stages of writing. But it's important to remember that while AI can serve as a powerful tool that augments human capabilities, it's not a replacement for them. It can help with a variety of tasks, including generating ideas, structuring essays, and providing feedback. But it cannot replace the unique insights and critical thinking that you bring to your own writing. Your unique voice, your perspective, your expertise are all irreplaceable. And it's important that you remember that and keep that as you use AI in the writing process. AI can significantly enhance your own work by augmenting tedious tasks, providing valuable insights, and suggesting improvements. However, it's crucial to remember that AI-generated content should be carefully reviewed, edited, and integrated into your own writing. AI is most effective when viewed as a collaborative process where your skills and judgment remain central rather than as the final arbiter of right or wrong. AI can offer iterative feedback, allowing you to continuously improve your drafts and helping you focus on the content quality and depth rather than getting bogged down by basic errors or structural issues. As AI becomes more prevalent, developing the skill to effectively utilize these tools is essential. Future employers will expect that you're proficient in using AI. This involves understanding its strengths and limitations, critically evaluating its output, and responsibly incorporating it into your own work and workflow. Embracing AI as a partner in the writing journey helps you prepare for a future where these technologies are commonplace. While AI offers numerous benefits, it's crucial to remember to use it responsibly and ethically. Always cite AI-generated content properly, ensuring that you give credit where it's due, and avoid plagiarism. Maintaining academic integrity involves ensuring that all work submitted is your own. AI should enhance your writing, not generate content that's passed off as your own original work. Further, over-reliance on AI will hinder your own growth and development as a writer. Remember that the goal is to use AI to enhance your own skills, not to replace them. Finally, and this is critically important for my own students, you need to be transparent in your use of AI. I want you to make effective use of it, but I also expect that you acknowledge and explain its use. I want to understand how you're using AI, if for no other reason than I'm curious to see how it continues to develop and evolve.
How do I blend AI into my writing workflow? What is it good for?
If you're new to using AI in writing, you may not fully understand the many ways it can be used in the writing process. I want to go through a few ways that I find it useful now. At the start of the writing process, AI can help with brainstorming and idea generation, providing a wide range of potential paper topics based on your interests or course requirements. It helps narrow down broad topics to focused research questions by providing information on scope, relevance, and potential challenges. For example, you can ask AI to generate a list of potential topics, explore different angles, identify current trends or debates, or discuss the scope and limitations of various topics. Next, AI can assist you in crafting clear, concise, and specific thesis statements by providing examples and feedback. It can suggest ways to strengthen your thesis statement by making it more argumentative or focused. For example, you could ask it to analyze the strength and clarity of proposed thesis statements, suggest ways to make thesis statements more specific or arguable, or to discuss potential counter-arguments to help strengthen your thesis. AI can help you to develop a structured outline for your paper, ensuring a logical flow of ideas and identifying potential gaps in your argument. You can ask it to suggest alternative organizational structures or to identify ways to strengthen the connections between different sections of your paper. It can also suggest additional areas to explore or expand upon if needed. AI can assist in developing annotated bibliographies by summarizing peer-reviewed articles and other sources, helping you understand key points and arguments quickly. It can review and provide feedback on annotations to ensure they're clear, concise, and relevant. However, be cautious about asking AI to find sources, as it may generate non-existent references. Instead, it's better to find your own sources and to use AI to help summarize key points, evaluate credibility, suggest connections, and identify relevance for your thesis. As you begin the formal writing process, AI can help overcome episodes of writer's block by providing prompts or questions to stimulate thinking, suggesting alternative approaches to structuring or expressing ideas, helping to break down complex concepts into more manageable parts, and even to engage in dialogue to express ideas more deeply. As you continue the writing process, AI can suggest additional points, evidence, or arguments to help you develop your paper more fully. You can ask it to help suggest transitions between sections, help phrasing complex ideas more clearly, or offer different perspectives or suggest how to structure your paper differently to make your argument more effective and ensure that your ideas are being presented coherently. It can brainstorm examples of analogies to help illustrate key points and do many other things. But the area I think where AI really excels is in reviewing drafts and providing feedback for improvement. While AI cannot replace feedback from human readers, it can provide excellent preliminary feedback on your draft's clarity, coherence, organization, and argumentation. It can suggest areas for improvement, like clarifying ambiguous statements, strengthening weak arguments, or providing additional evidence or suggestions for improvement. You can ask it to evaluate the strengths of your argument, to suggest ways to make them more persuasive, or to make them better supported. You can even ask it to focus on specific elements of the draft, like logical flow of arguments, or gaps in weaknesses in reason, or areas that may benefit from additional evidence or explanation, or just clarity and coherence. It can also identify grammatical errors, awkward phrasing, or stylistic inconsistencies in paper drafts and help to ensure smooth transitions between paragraphs and sections, enhancing the overall flow of your paper. You can ask it to suggest alternative word choices for clarity or conciseness, or for more general feedback on your writing style, helping you achieve a more academic tone or tailoring your language to the specific audience you're trying to reach. In the age of AI-assisted writing, there's really no excuse for making grammatical mistakes. And AI has a variety of other excellent uses. It can help generate proper citations and format them according to specific styles like APA, MLA, Chicago Turabian, or others. Some LLMs have the ability to translate texts from one language to another, or to help create visual aids like charts and graphs for your paper. It can assist in the interpretation and analysis of statistical data or research findings, helping draw meaningful conclusions from the data. It can help generate abstracts for your paper, summarizing key points and arguments presented. And if the abstract doesn't match your expectations, that likely tells you that the paper doesn't accomplish what you set out to do. And I'm sure it can do much more. In fact, if I've missed a good use for AI in academic writing, please tell me in the comments section below.
Which LLM should I use?
There are several large language models currently available, with the leading models including ChatGPT, Google Gemini, and Anthropic's Claude. These models are in a constant race to the top, meaning which is best at any given moment changes, and it may depend on what you're hoping to accomplish. For most students, it really doesn't make a difference which model you use. They all accomplish the same basic tasks, so feel free to use whichever model you're most comfortable with. But if you want a more nuanced explanation, here's my take. ChatGPT is probably the most versatile, offering a broad range of knowledge across many subjects. It excels at explaining complex concepts in simple terms and is good at many basic writing tasks. However, it can sometimes produce confidently stated but incorrect information, so users really need to be able to verify facts independently. It may struggle with long, multi-turn interactions where responses may become inconsistent. It also has a knowledge cutoff, meaning it doesn't have information beyond a specific date. In academic writing, ChatGPT is great for brainstorming and outlining, breaking down those complex concepts into manageable chunks, and proofreading and suggesting stylistic improvements. But it might struggle with providing detailed information, subject-specific insights, or in ensuring the accuracy of complex academic content. Google Gemini has multimodal capabilities, processing text, images, and other types of data. Its integration with Google's search capabilities enables it to access and summarize up-to-date information quickly, providing better, though still imperfect, fact-checking. It's very good at understanding and maintaining context over long interactions. However, Gemini is less widely available and tested in academic contexts, and it may have biases or limitations in certain subjects. It also avoids discussing particularly politically contentious topics, referring you to a classic Google search instead. In an academic context, Gemini is effective in providing feedback based on recent publications and supporting it with evidence. However, it struggles with creative content and is less effective in brainstorming unique ideas compared to other LLMs. Finally, Claude AI has strong analytical and reasoning skills and places a greater emphasis on ethical considerations, avoiding potential biases more so than the other LLMs do. It also tends to offer the most human-like responses in terms of style, with detailed and nuanced responses to complex queries. But Claude tends to be more cautious in its responses, sometimes leading to less creative outputs. And like ChatGPT, Claude has a knowledge cutoff that limits its ability to process information around current events. In the context of academic writing, Claude excels in helping structure arguments and to improve logical flow. It's good at providing detailed feedback on drafts and is very good at exploring ethical implications. It's essential to note that all three can suffer from hallucinations, which are essentially the factually incorrect, nonsensical, or irrelevant responses you sometimes receive. Basically, all LLMs can fabricate information and present it as though it were true. They might make up quotes, examples, references, or even facts, inventing them out of whole cloth and presenting them in a very convincing manner. This is why fact-checking is so important when using AI. But for most students, the difference in AI models is going to be a matter of personal preference, as all three can effectively accomplish the same central tasks.
How can I maximize AI's potential in my writing? What are some practical steps?
Regardless of which model you wind up using, you'll need to create a user account to start. Details on how to do this are available in each model. Note that most models have multiple tiers of access, with paid tiers generally benefiting from priority access, especially during peak times, as well as access to more advanced, recent versions of the model, faster response times, and better functionality. Assuming you're accessing using a free account, each model has a prompt bar in which you can start a conversation. It's important to view your interactions with AI as a conversation. While they can answer basic factual questions, where they really excel and where they differ from a traditional Google or internet search is in their ability to engage in conversation. The other thing to remember is that the responses you'll receive will be better the more information you provide. This is sometimes referred to as prompt engineering, but I think that overcomplicates the process. The best prompts will be specific and clear. Ask precise questions to get specific answers. Ambiguous prompts are more likely to generate vague or irrelevant responses. For example, instead of prompting the model to tell me about food politics, ask, what are the key factors influencing food sovereignty in Native American communities? Instead of saying, help me write a thesis statement, prompt the AI with something like, I need a thesis statement for a paper on the impact of climate change on agricultural practices in Southeast Asia. Can you suggest a strong thesis statement focusing on economic and social impacts? This will give you a much better response. You'll also get better responses if you give the model enough information to fully understand your query. In general, the more information you provide the prompt, the better the response you'll receive from the LLM. This is because more information helps the AI generate more relevant and accurate responses. If you include relevant details, background, or other specific information, it helps the AI focus on the information that's relevant to your prompt. For example, try something like, for my research paper on food sovereignty, I'm focusing on the historical and cultural aspects of Native American communities. Can you provide an overview of the historical challenges they have faced? It also helps to ask the AI to assume a specific role or tone. For example, you might ask it to assume you're an English tutor when providing feedback on your draft, or to assume you're a professor of political science when asking for information on voting systems. This gives the model a framework from which to develop its response. Using keywords or relevant phrases will also help the model identify the topic or subject matter you're interested in. Again, this is because LLMs are language models that look for connections between terms. By using specific terms relevant to your field or topic, you'll be directing the AI to stronger, more relevant approaches to the topic or question. You can also ask for examples or analogies, or for the model to provide multiple perspectives on a topic, or to engage in critical and creative thinking approaches to a specific topic. All of these will generate more nuanced responses than simply asking the model to explain the same topic. You should also specify the scope and format of the response you need. For example, instead of asking AI to summarize an article, try asking it to summarize the main points of an article in 150 words, or to provide a list of the major impacts of the Green Revolution on food production. Using sequential queries to break down complex questions into simpler sequential ones will also help guide the conversation. For example, you'll likely get better responses if you first ask, what is food sovereignty, and follow up with, how does it differ from food security, than if you just ask the LLM to explain food sovereignty. Providing examples can also help the LLM understand exactly what you're looking for. For example, you might ask the model to explain the concept of food deserts, for example, describe the characteristics of a food desert in an urban area. You'll also get better answers if you use neutral language and avoid assumptions in your prompt. For example, instead of asking, why are genetically modified foods bad, you'll get a stronger response from the AI by asking, what are the pros and cons of genetically modified foods? If the initial response is not satisfactory, refine your prompt and ask again. For example, if the response you receive when asking the AI to explain the role of women in agriculture is too broad, refine it to discuss the role of women in sustainable agricultural practices in sub-Saharan Africa, or just ask follow-up questions to your original post. Again, this is best viewed as a conversation. And more broadly, I'd encourage you just to explore and experiment with different ways of asking questions. Over time, you'll learn how to frame prompts and to generate better responses. So that should get you started in using AI in developing your writing. I'm curious if you have any suggestions for items I've missed, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments section below. This is an ongoing topic and will likely change a great deal moving forward, but I also find it a really exciting time, and I'm curious to see where this goes. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.